So how does the media work? Well, it works like any other business. It craves customers. And in this case, we're talking readers, listeners and viewers. The more readers, listeners and viewers it gets, the more it can charge for advertising, which of course then equates to profits. It's no different to any other business. And so how does the media entice viewers, listeners and readers? It achieves this by producing content that is of interest to its viewers, listeners and readers. That content, of course, varies depending on the nature of the media platform. For example, a television news service will broadcast a wide variety of content like politics, sport, courts, human interest, world affairs, disasters, etc. However, other television programs specialise, for example, automotive, fashion, antiques, home renovations. Radio's no different. Stations generally broadcast a news service half-hourly or on the hour, and those news bulletins need to be filled with content. The same applies to their individual shows like Breakfast, Morning and Drive. And just like television, some radio stations specialise in specific topics like health, cars, fishing. You get the picture. And newspapers and magazines follow exactly the same template. When you pick up a paper and turn to any page, there are stories on all sorts of topics, and you can be a part of that. So how does the media accumulate its content for television, radio and print? Well, some stories simply appear. They happen. For example, car crashes, the price of milk increases, a sporting team wins a grand final, a criminal receives a life sentence, the coronavirus. Many of these stories are handed to journalists on a plate, often in the form of a media release distributed by the particular business or an organisation or the government or an individual. The journalist doesn't need to dig. Generally, they have most of the facts, and as we say in the business, the story generally writes itself. Then there are stories that are not so obvious. A dispute within a council, a player revolt within a sporting club, a business is about to sack hundreds of workers but wants to keep it quiet, animal cruelty. These stories are generally found in three ways. The journalist rings a contact, has a chat and then discovers the story. The journalist gets a call from one of their contacts, or a member of the public rings the journalist. Now this is really important. When a reporter is considering a story, they run through a mental checklist to ascertain whether or not that story is newsworthy, and that is what we're about to cover next.